بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
The afterlife in Islam is called barzakh. Barzakh is a kind of barrier, the period that the dead must overcome in another dimension and separating the worldly abode from the eternal refuge. It will end with the resurrection of the inhabitants of the earth before the judgment.
ولو ترى إذ وقفوا على النار فقالوا يا ليتنا نرد ولا نكذب بآيات ربنا ونكون من المؤمنين بل بدا لهم ما كانوا يخفون من قبل ولو ردوا لعادوا لما نهوا عنه وإنهم لكاذبون.
Until the day of judgment, the soul is in the world of souls. Each soul has its own waiting period. The one who was an atheist undergoes partial torment while waiting for the day of judgment. Sees the place of his eternal stay in hell. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, after one of the people dies, his place in the eternal abode is shown to him in the afterlife, in the morning and in the evening. If he is from among the inhabitants of paradise, then paradise, his place in paradise. And if from among the inhabitants of hell, then hell, his place in hell. It is said to him, this is your abode, which you will reach, after the resurrection on the day of judgment. The wait can stretch out for him for millions of years, even if he died the day before the end of the world. Such an expectation is one of the facets of punishment that continues into eternity. As for the believers who have sinned, they will also be punished, and it will begin in this world. This punishment will be the cause of the forgiveness of sins, if properly perceived. If by the time of death the believer has unredeemed sins, then he will undergo some torment in the afterlife. If something remains on the day of judgment, then before it is either the forgiveness of the Creator, or a temporary hellish punishment. Believers who have lived this life righteously will begin to experience joy and delight through a partial vision of what awaits them in paradise. The waiting time for the day of judgment will be as short as possible for them. Before the day of judgment, all souls are stored in the world of souls, the bodies become part of the earth. With the beginning of the day of judgment, the planet Earth will spread over the entire space that it goes around the sun, such is the assumption of some Muslim scientists. And by the command of the Creator, human bodies of all times and peoples will be resurrected. The world of souls will open its gates, and each soul will rush into its worldly body. The boundless expanses of eternity will open before the face of each of the people. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, when a person is lowered into the grave and the people who escorted him on the last journey, although in reality the path will have a long continuation, leave, and he will hear their steps, two angels, Munkar and Nakir, will approach him and, seated, they will ask, what did you say? No. About this person, that is, about the last prophet of God, Muhammad. The believer will answer, I testify that he is a servant of God and a messenger. The answer will follow, we knew that you would say that. Look at your place in hell, where you could stay temporarily or forever. Be a sinner or an atheist, Allah, God, Lord, replaced it for you with an abode in paradise. The deceased will see both haunts. After that, his abode in the afterlife will become spacious, it will light up, and he will fall asleep with the sweet dream of the groom, or bride, who are awakened by the desired and beloved. And this blissful dream will last until the day of resurrection. As for the hypocrites and atheists, they will be asked, "What can you say about this person?" referring to Prophet Muhammad. And each of them will answer, in confusion, "I don't know, I don't remember, I didn't attach much importance to this. I was of the same opinion as everyone else." In reality, you don't know anything about him, and didn't want to know, didn't follow those who did. He will receive the strongest blow with a metal hammer and scream so that all angels, animals, birds, insects, except for humans and jinn. His abode will become incredibly cramped, his condition will be painful, and so on until the day of resurrection. Until the body is buried, the soul will be somewhere nearby. After the arrival of the two angels mentioned in the hadith, there will be a partial reunion of the soul and body, but already in an unearthly dimension, in a state unusual for worldly laws. After interrogation, the soul leaves its body, moves to the world of souls, where it experiences either particles of heavenly bliss or hellish torment. There is an interesting authentic hadith about this. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The soul of a believer is a bird that gets its lot on a branch of the tree of paradise. And this is until she returns to her body on the day of the resurrection from the dead."
النار يعرضون عليها غدوا وعشيا ويوم تقوم الساعة أدخلوا آل فرعون أشد العذاب.
Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "After one of the people dies, his place in the afterlife is shown to him in the afterlife, in the morning and in the evening. If he is from among the inhabitants of paradise, then he is paradise, and if he is from among the inhabitants of hell, then he is hell. It is said to him, 'This is your abode, which you will reach, after the resurrection on the day of judgment.'" The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, recited the following prayer for the edification of believers. "O Lord, I ask you for protection from suffering in the grave, protection from torment in hell, protection from the temptations of life and death, from madness, delusions of life and death, protection from the evil of the Antichrist,